All right, we are live. This is Kev, and with me are the habitual line steppers. We are here to do our thoughts, give you our thoughts on the Dave Chappelle impromptu comedy special, or not even really a comedy special. It was more like a set, but it was just as entertaining as anything that you know, like he's saying any of his comedy shows, as far as I'm concerned. The Donnie and Roger, they're grown men. They'll give their thoughts, on their own. But as far as I'm concerned, I thought it was an epic set. I thought it was appropriate, and there's a lot of things going on out there, especially with the virus, and and it seems like police just can't stop killing unarmed people. It's a fucking problem, and it's a fucking problem to the end of the day. And the shit's not cool. And one thing with Dave Chappelle is that you know it wasn't comedy to him. It was one of those times where it was appropriate, where it didn't have to be. And that's really all the man was saying. So um, all right. Well, Donnie, Roger.
I want to talk to Samson.
All right.
Well, I just want to say, in the words of Chris Donner, Dave Chappelle's a genius.
Mm, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I got from him. He's a genius.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was an extremely interesting set. I'd tell you that, extremely interesting.
Mm, yes, it was, and it's interesting, like how he connected like a lot of his real life events to a lot of his real life situations to the events, and and the time in which I thought was very creative for a set, like that he did the way he did. I mean, like the emphasis of the earthquake, where he told in the beginning he was part of an earthquake that lasted for 35 seconds, and he was certain that he was going to die. And the reason why the special's name 846 is because that's exactly how long, down to the second, that 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 fucking piece of shit Derek Chauvin, you know, had his knee on George Floyd's neck. He also pointed out that 846 was in the morning, was the time that he was born, that he came into this world. He also said that, um, you know, and like it took, like he said, it took him forever to watch the video, and I think the same was in my case as well. It took me a while to watch the video, and it's like the other day I finally just watched like the last 3 or 4 minutes of that 8 minutes and 46 seconds, and words couldn't express the everything that was going through my head. It was anger, it was frustration, it was sadness, it was sympathy for George Floyd. I mean, it was yeah, it was very heavy. Donnie, let me ask you a question. Have you seen that tape yet? Have
Yeah,
you seen the
so
recording? Yeah.
I,
Okay.
I watched it. I watched it when it first came out. I have a different perspective of it, honestly. I look at it as if we're in wartime. So these are the atrocities that are committed in war. That he doesn't deserve the title of police officer. That race soldier, that white supremacist stood on that man's neck with a certain air of pride, with certain arrogance about himself. Um, so me watching the video, all I felt was rage because I felt like an enemy combatant had gotten a black man and had waged his holy white supremacist war on him. Because white supremacy is a religion. They fully believe in it, like Jews believe in Moses or whatever the case is. So I was enraged by the video, but I also understood this is part of a long war that they've been raging on us for years, decades, centuries. Um, So I took a bit of a different perspective on it. Yeah, it was hard seeing it in reality, but these are one of the things that go on in Black America, right? These are the things that we know about, we've heard about. We're just at an age where it's on video now.
Yeah, yeah. Will Smith said it best. Nothing. He said something to the effect of racism never changed or it didn't go away. It's just being recorded. Some to that effect. And the reason, like the one thing that I said, the reason why, a lot of the reason why black people, and anyone with any kind of humanity is enraged about this is because it's really two central reasons. Number one, you just had two more victims of police brutality. Well, not really police brutality. People who were taken in this war that, if I'm saying it in right context, Donnie, just happened because Ahmaud Arbery was not killed by police officers. They were former police officers. They weren't serving at the time, but fuck them anyway. They might as well be a part of that shit. And
Yeah,
Breonna,
the dude he was a criminal investigator, correct?
yes, yes,
So he pretty much had the authority of the police. He worked with the police. He was buddy buddy with the police. When it was put in front of the prosecutor knew his name and was like, you know what, we're gonna go ahead and slide past this. So yeah, I wouldn't say that he's a police officer, but he had the same protection as police officers.
yeah, absolutely, yeah. He worked for that town's DA in Bronx.
Right.
Yeah,
And the reason I wouldn't say he's a police officer is because it goes to show you the depth of white supremacy and how there's many arms of it. It's like a Hydra in the comic books, right?
yeah,
They always say "Hail Hydra." There's always another tentacle. There's always another head. There is a extreme network that people don't like to acknowledge, and this is case in point: the network at work.
okay, yeah, yeah. But yeah, getting back to the special. Yeah, like what stuck out to you, like that day?
Candace Owens.
Candace Owens, yes. Candace Owens, and yeah, he was like, Candace Owens was a rotten bitch. Let's just say it. Candace Owens was a rotten bitch. She was the one that tried to make it okay with white people. Putting the man's criminal record out, and Dave Chappelle said that he didn't care what the man did. He didn't care if George Floyd kicked Candace Owens in her stanky what if he said if it stank, I'll tell you. Ask Azalea Banks, which was extremely funny. Which was kind of like I wouldn't say, because it was reported that it was like he was low key admitting that the thing with Azalea Banks was true, but whatever.
Yeah, no, I didn't see that as a report. I think he was just poking fun at her because, in my opinion, Azalea Banks is a crazy person. She'll say anything for attention.
Yeah,
She'll say
absolutely.
anything to get some views. Azalea Banks does not like brothers. She's made that painfully clear. Uh, she does what she does. I can't see Dave Chappelle knocking down Azalea Banks. Just even if it was like a point score, it's just not. It's just not. I don't think who that man is. But I think he took a jab at her, like, okay, well, you want to get the clout. Let me give you the clout. But I do enjoy how he kind of he took out Candace Owens. She needed to be taken down a peg, and he did it.
He did it well too.
Yeah, but Candace Owens. And let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Candace Owens, like, I think she clapped on him, saying that I wish he called me a rotten bitch to my face. And I'm sitting up there like, I don't think she wants that. That would be like for real. I would actually set time aside to watch that roast. I would get popcorn, beer, and all that shit.
I don't know why people don't take comedians serious, especially the best ones. The thing is, comedy is presented based off of intelligence. It's put in humor form, but it's always a very, very high intelligence dealing with comedy.
Right. Dave Chappelle's been doing comedy since he was 14 years old. I've seen all the
He's a
conversations on
master.
Dave Chappelle. They said he was standing at the park when he was a child and doing comedy. Right. And if you look at his stand up comedy for the last couple of years, while he's telling jokes, he's not really telling jokes. He's just giving his social commentary, and it happens to be funny as F.
He
You
puts
can't
the
help
humor.
but to laugh at it. Just
Yeah.
like what is this, 846?
Yeah, 8 minutes 46. Yes.
Yeah, so 846 is an extension of that. He didn't really, and this is lesser on the funny side, but it was still funny. But it wasn't him telling jokes. It was him coming up and kind of airing out his grievances, but it was funny, so it became stand up. But if you listen to what he said, all he was doing is talking to his commentary on what was going on in life. He threw a couple jabs here and there, and you couldn't help but to laugh.
Yeah.
That's what separates a great comedian from the others. That's why Richard Pryor, people couldn't take Richard Pryor serious. Richard Pryor had some great insights on everything going on, but it was so funny, people thought he was joking all the time. That man was dead serious.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Did y'all hear the little? Yeah, I don't think it was a jab. I think it was more like a dig, the little dig on Kevin Hart. And yeah,
That
he,
was,
Well,
that
they
was that was
homies. They
brotherhood
homies.
shit though. That was brotherhood shit.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
they
Of
homies.
course, yeah, of course. Because I remember he said in that other one, Sticks and Stones, that Kevin Hart was like his dream was to host the Oscars, and he was like, "That's a weird dream for a black man to have." you know. Yeah, but yeah, he mentioned Chris Dorner. Now, y'all help me remember this at the end. Dave Chappelle's stern warning. If do y'all remember? You remember he gave a little warning, right? But
Yes.
we're gonna save that for later. But
He gave two.
people
He gave
like,
two. He gave two warnings.
okay, well, you can elaborate on what the other warning is, Bill Munger. Not the one at the end, of course, but
Definitely.
um, yeah, yeah, he started talking about Chris Dorner. And
Well,
he cracked a little joke about that. Yeah, Roger, what's
you talking about my new hero?
up? Chris Dorner,
A great American hero.
a great American hero. Yeah, he also took shots at the NRA as well. It's like,
I said
wow.
you talking about my new hero? My new hero. Basically. Well, are you getting me? Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
yeah, we can hear you, Roger.
Yeah. Well, like, okay, different places around the country, you hear things depending on what news story you heard, what you didn't hear, and all that good stuff. So I didn't know exactly what was going on with Chris Donner on that level. So when I found out what the context of the whole Chris Donner situation, oh, that's my new hero now. You know what I'm saying? I got to get a picture, dude. Put him on the wall or something.
Well, he's
You
honorable.
know,
He's
I
nothing
mean,
but
I
honor.
knew he was going. I knew he was going at the cops. I didn't know why he was going at the cops, though.
Yeah.
So now that it's been told why he's going at the cops, none but respect for the brother.
Have you read his manifesto?
No, but I'm definitely interested now.
It's on PDF form. I printed that shit out day one. He's a genius, cuz the way the way he breaks things down, you realize that the police got people like that on their ranks. That was the thing that hit me. It's like the way that he waged an asymmetrical war. He talked about the tactics that they had and how he was going to nullify them and everything.
That's why they came 400 deep at him. I get that's why they came 400 deep at him.
Hey, but for real,
but
let me say something about that real quick, man. They'll go like 20 or 30 deep on one dude in a traffic stop. With his hands up, man. Of course they're gonna go 400 deep on somebody like Christopher Dorner.
Of course.
They was scared of that man.
So let
I'm not.
me give you, everybody who's listening out there right now, right? So this is a little bit more on the grittier side of the conversation we normally have on this channel, because we're all black men. So this is gonna hit home and hit deeper for us than it is any other group of people. So it's going to bleed into a little bit more of a grittier channel. So if you want to listen to our other channels, we all have them. We'll give you those at the end of the show. But we're talking about Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle kind of delves into this realm, and we felt like this was something we had to cover on the Black Convention because it is comedy. It is media sensationalized a conversation, and we're having a conversation. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna reiterate that Chris Donner is one of my new favorite heroes. Because what I heard now that I heard this coverage, see, I knew he was into it with police. I had no idea why he was into it with police. I never. Maybe I wasn't paying enough attention at that time. Maybe I just didn't care enough, or whatever the case is. But I always said, well, the dude couldn't have been such a terrible guy because that photo they used to show of him, and he was smiling in the photo. And I know being a black man in this country, when you start doing certain stuff, they ain't gonna put your good photos up. And I'm like, that's the worst photo they could find of that guy, him smiling. You know what I'm saying? Like everything is great. I was like, okay, it's got to be something to that story, but I just never looked into it. So to hear that he actually went to war on my behalf, because that's what I heard. I don't know how everybody else take it, but I heard he went to war on my behalf because he saw that there was a system that was crooked and out to get me, and he gave his life as my brother to do something about it. I can't do nothing but respect the man. Point blank, period.
Salute.
I hope to meet him in heaven one day.
What he did, he actually exposed that the police forces are full of military trained folks, highly skilled military trained folks. So in the aspect of them not understanding what a threat is when they come around peaceful areas of non-white people, that's bullshit because he waged war. So he told them what they were going to use. He told them the tactics that they utilized. So that means that the tactics that they utilize on the public and the civilians is actually war tactics. They call it police, but they don't use police tactics. They use war tactics. He exposed a lot with them.
So what brother was really on was maximum mercy compensatory syndrome, right? That's the actual syndrome or the name for what it was. He had seen enough. He had felt fed up, and he went on a spree to cover, what his issue was. He was the spook that sat by the door. That's an old movie. A lot of people haven't seen, but it was a book too. But this was based on him doing everything he had to do in a system of white supremacy, and then trying to guide his self through and saying, "Oh, this don't work. Okay, well, this don't work. I'm gonna go ahead and destroy the system."
I mean, what the thing was that he saw that his people was being preyed upon, and this is the reason why I don't understand why a lot of black veterans don't snap. Those who've actually been in conflicts and foreign lands and stuff, why don't they snap and be like, all right, you know what? Yeah, I'm seeing the same thing over here, trying to get in it. It's weird that it takes some trauma for folks to snap like that, but they don't see it when it's like right in front of their faces. Like he was in Cali, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna say this because I'm not gonna make it light. When a man decides to put his life down to do what he believes in, I mean that takes a great amount of I don't want to say courage because to me it's something bigger than that.
It's duty. It's duty. It's pure duty.
Yeah. So for a person to do that, I know everybody's just not gonna do that in the blink of an eye. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of us that will, but to really have in your mind, I'm about to lay it on the line. This is about to be my last day. That's got to be hard to come to terms with. So for any brother that actually does it, my respect is through the roof. And to be on the inside, to know exactly what you need to know, and to know that your people are targeted like that, and to just not let it go.
Yeah.
I mean, the man's a hero in my eyes.
Yeah, he need to be up there next to JFK and MLK.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what else to say. Like, it touched me to hear what Christopher Donner actually did for his people.
Yeah,
and like it or not, those are the principles that this country was built upon.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Gotta love it.
Yeah, wrong color, I guess though. Yeah, because Rogers' lack of knowledge on Christopher Dorner probably comes from the way the media painted him. like some insane killer.
Yeah,
That,
he was a serial killer in the media's
yeah,
perception.
serial
He was
killer.
some
Yes.
rogue dude who was killing people for no reason and wasn't explained why. And they didn't want to get into the depths of what his actual problem was. If you explain what his actual problem is you have to explain everything surrounding it.
A decent killer is never going to kill without reason. That's not what you do. It's like art. You be good at what you do. You want to make sure that you have a nice product. So it's like, wait a minute, everything has to go the way that it's supposed to go. The MO, the reason, and all that. You know what I'm saying? There has to be actually something associated with a certain kind of righteousness, if you will. You can't kill out of just pure hate and pure anger of selfishness. No. It has to be for some
Brandon,
cause that's higher than you.
Well, I'm gonna admit this. I'm gonna admit this because I can say when this was going down, because I remember it being a story, but I know I was busy at the time. I really didn't want to take a whole lot of time to look into it. And when people was talking about it, I was like, he ain't killing us. That was kind of my things. Like, I don't really need to know the details at this particular point in time because he ain't after us. You know what I'm saying? Based on everything I'm hearing, we cool. You know, and I was talking about black folks. So, you know, I didn't know exactly what was going on. I knew something was up to it because if you're talking about a police officer, I know a lot of police officers first go into the military of some kind. So a lot of them do have military training. So that's to be expected. And then he's black and he lived in America. I don't think black men just snap off like that for any reason. Because if we just snap like that, we'd be snapping by 18, 19, 20, 21 for all the stuff we got to just deal with living here. So
Trust
I was
usually
like,
hold it back to
Hey,
snap.
hey, Roger, you got a question? You got a question in the chat from the sneak 2008 at Roger. Is the DC sniper your hero too?
No, I mean, wasn't the DC sniper just killing to get money? That's a whole different thing.
No, it was killing to terrorize people.
I think
John Muhammad and John Malvo were killing to terrorize people. I mean, when you got somebody hiding in a damn trunk, shooting random folks, that's cowardly. They even stopped through my hometown and killed some lady at a liquor store on Zelda Road.
Well, hold on, bro. But see, my thing is the question don't make sense because then they kill black people too.
They killed anybody.
Yeah, they killed anyone. Yeah,
exactly. So, like, why would somebody killing black people be my hero? I'm not even getting the question on that one.
The person in the chat, is doing what somebody white does when they talk about the whole thing with killing. It's like, well, hey, blacks killed each other, or why can't we kill one of you? And it's like, oh, all right, you want to validate killing, period, you sick fuck. Okay, that's what it is.
Yeah, that's essentially what it is. These white folks always bring up this whole black on black crime. Y'all don't cry. People in the vicinity of themselves kill each other. That's just is what it is. If you want to talk about crime, white on white crime is way larger than black on black crime could ever be. But you don't want to bring that up because that defeats your narrative.
Yeah. You just did like some all lives matter shit.
I'm like, you ever seen a black person kill a lion in cold blood? You sick fuck.
I know, but see, my point was, you had a huge difference. Christopher Donner did not take out anybody black. He took out people that was hurting black people. So my thing is like, when are black people gonna be okay with the fact that somebody gave their life for us? You know, that's the point I'm trying to get across. The man chose to give his life for us. How can I be mad at him?
Okay. Let me. The sneak 2008 is trying to offer some clarity. He said wasn't sure of the DC sniper cause. That's why I asked.
Nobody was sure of the cause.
The DC sniper was he was a Muslim extremist. If I'm correct, right? He was a Muslim extremist, and he was out doing it for his religion. Which they have
he completely brainwashed that boy Malvo too. So
they have a whole valid argument on their end, but it's different context, and it's not one that I'm willing to fight at this point in time because black people have their own issues.
Yeah, but I think the sneak. Okay, let me be a little fair. I mean, you know, because we kind of went at him a certain way. I think the sneak was just trying to seek some education from the Roger report because he obviously know who Roger is, and you know, Roger, you know, is right. You know, so.
You know the thing.
Snake,
Because I'm not trying to go at him in a disrespectful way, but I also heard that the DC sniper had financial demands on it too, and I know he killed some black folks, and I remember one being a bus driver. So it's like, yeah, I can't endorse that brother. He owns something. He owns something
No,
different.
I can't endorse him either. Like I said, that was weird. You know, somebody out of nowhere just kills somebody that close and that local. Nah, man, fuck that dude. He deserves to be where he's
Yeah,
at, dead. You know.
yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna snipe somebody, why would you snipe an innocent?
Yeah.
And you're good at it. You want to go for the motherfucking big fish.
Yeah. You want the innocent people just to terrorize folks. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't endorse that. Now, see, my thing about this particular case is, like I said, when I heard about it, I knew he was going after the police, and I knew it was some white folks involved. So I was like, I don't know what dude's story is, but he ain't chasing us down. So like, and I don't want to say that it's not like I applaud any person getting killed, but if somebody got to die, I prefer it not to be me, and I prefer it not to be my family, and I prefer it not to be my people. So I
Hey,
think anybody can understand that. You know what I'm saying?
hey, you know what though? You know how we relate to this though? Like they're special to what you just said, Roger. Dave Chappelle was like, when he went to, I guess he went to LA to do a comedy special.
Yeah.
Or he had, but like, yeah, they were like, oh man, Dave Chappelle, there's this crazy lunatic, come, we need extra protection.
Chris
He was like,
Dorner.
yeah, and he was like, well, I'm cool. I mean, he likes me.
I guess that's what I'm saying right now.
He likes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
But see, that shows you how easily
Yeah, I
they
guess that is
are,
what I'm saying.
or how fragile their confidence actually is. Because remember, also when that shit happened, the motherfucker shot up two of the trucks that didn't even match the description of the truck that he had, that had innocent people in it, and just because they was the truck, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that shows you the
Yeah.
fear that they had. They
You,
No,
you got
they were
had
so
major
scared of Christopher
fear.
Nolan. They was like they were so scared of Christopher Nolan. Didn't they shoot up a neighborhood because like a twig fell out of a tree or something?
what you got to remember is police officers. In order for you to be a police officer, all you need is a GED. GED don't take
That's
much,
so
right?
sad. That's
And then
sad.
once you get a GED, you are enabled to carry out what's called justice in this country. Once you are enabled to carry out what's called justice in this country, you are then able to pretty much play judge, jury, and executioner with everyone you come in contact life. You were given military training, and you were given the benefit of the doubt if you kill somebody in cold blood. And these are who we have policing, quote unquote, the country, right? It's a fucked up system.
I can't even necessarily even blame the system. It's just the people, because the Constitution put in a lot of stuff just so a person could not be judge, jury, and execution. They had a whole thing about this. They actually split up branches of the government just so a person wouldn't have this type of power. So I'm not going to even blame the system. It's just the people participating in the system.
I'm about to say it's more. It's got to be more on the people, because the thing is, the system don't operate on its own. And how the system has been running, the system has always been operating on some mafioso shit. It's just that the shit done grown out of hand. The greater that the folks have gotten a wrestle on autonomy, self autonomy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Once that occurs, then the whole thing, the system that's about consumption, containment, and control, that shit falters. So, they have to put forth whatever effort they can. And right now they can't do anything soft because they've been doing the hard style 24/7. So now, they're trying to do the soft style with them motherfuckers kneeling with kente cloth on. Oh, bunch of
Man,
old rich
that's
pepper
fucking
wood.
shit. Like,
That shit is ridiculous.
Well, let me say this: if it was about the system, Chris Donald would have been apprehended and just may have gotten to go to Burger King or something on the way in. If it was the system.
boy.
But you know what? Dave ushered that shit in when he ushered that shit in well, in the aspect of showing them what is likely to occur if they don't get in pocket. But at 4 minutes and 47 seconds, he gives the perspective of that's our cultural perspective. When he said all these police got their hands in their pockets, He said, "Who are you talking to?" He saw the message was given. He received the message. Now the thing is, how many black people also received that same message? And the message, blackly, in our perspective, our cultural perspective, was war. He saw that, but he didn't say it. But at the end, he let it be known.
Let me make a couple points real quick. He was saying remember the part in the broadcast where he was saying that he was talking about Philando Castile and then Alton Sterling and John Crawford, and then he said, "What did you expect to happen?" Then he's talking about the 9 police officers, then 4 more who got shot and killed because of the blatant deaths.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is the warning. It's like what do you expect if this keeps happening? Stuff like that is going to keep happening too.
People start to move on their humanity and not their citizenry, and that's the thing. That's the thing that's shaking a lot of people right now. Is they're really questioning, especially black people. They really question the whole aspect of this citizenry thing, and knowing that it's supposed to, give a little bit more beneficial than than it has, especially on the aspect of respecting the humanity of your life or your existence. Just because your God gave you your shit, not them. These motherfuckers play God, and everybody is sick of it now.
Well, let me say this though. As a citizen, is what these guys doing it bad? Because as a citizen, this is your country. You understand that it's your country. You understand your rights are unalienable.
You
So
actually believe that, though?
no. But
You've actually
my
believed
point
that.
is no. My point is, if these men who've been through all this stuff to be in those positions, if you teach them that this is their country, just like everybody else, and they're supposed to be able to fight for their country, just like everybody else.
Yeah.
If they see a threat that's foreign or domestic, just like anyone else, they should have a reaction to it. That's
Definitely.
my point.
Definitely.
So yeah, I can't see where they were going crazy or going bad or just doing something quote unquote wrong. It looked like they was fighting for their country.
Yeah. Most people permitted to protest, everything is going to be good because they're going to alchemize their war energy into a protest energy, and it's going to be spent. And that's why people taking knees. You got Nordstrom saying, "I love you, nigga." Now you got Bing, Google, Facebook. Oh, we stand in solidarity behind black men. All this shit. Last time we spoke, I said they had four double and dominoes, man. They spending them.
Yeah, Roach. I'm glad you said that, man, because I'm a little mad on the little media thing because a lot of this shit that we've been talking about for years, decades, on end. Stop killing us. Stop doing this. Stop doing that. We just want equality. We just want freedom. We've been doing this shit all the time, and this whole fucking time, and it's cool that it's finally being put on notice, but like there's a lot of bandwagon out there too. A lot of
yeah.
a lot of bandwagon and and I'm never and people who really know me in these social media streets that the social media that because what you see is what you get. You're gonna get this person on the outside. It's like, and it's like, it's okay, whatever, fake outrage, virtue signaling, bandwagon hopping motherfuckers. Like, you should have been there when the shit was happening years and years ago. Maybe some of our family members will still be alive.
For real. Pre Black Lives Matter. Okay.
Yeah. You should know something. You should know something with Rodney King shit. All these corrupt police departments across America. Hell, Dothan, Alabama. Dothan, Alabama was not too long ago where they did an investigation. They found out that police was planting drugs on black men and putting them in jail.
Yeah, by the tens of thousands.
There's a city in Texas. I feel like it's outside of Dallas. I want to say either Odessa, or like Terrell or something like that.
No, you're thinking of Tulia.
Is it Tulia? Yeah, that's the city where they was just rounding up black people, hitting them with charges and putting them in jail just because they could. They was getting money off them and saying, "Fuck them." Oh well, they'll be all right.
Yep. All right. Shout out to Double C in the chat. What's up?
Respect, Double C.
All right. Hey, look at the screen, Donnie.
There you
Donnie,
go.
no, Donnie was saying something. I didn't want to seem like I was like,
Donnie Lemon, huh? No relation. No
Hey,
relation.
Right.
yeah, but Don Lemon and Candace Owens. Like, let's talk about the Don Lemon Candace Owens part of the Dave Chappelle special, and YouTube. Please don't get triggered by what we're about to say about these two people. We're not being phobic or
This,
sexist or
this is cultural
anything.
perspective.
Yeah, this is cultural perspective. Okay.
Yes.
And Don Lemon, is Don Lemon has his moments, but I'm not like I agree with, like I don't like, just like I don't totally agree with somebody, I don't totally disagree with somebody. Well, listen, of course they on some sick shit, but
Hmm.
Don, first time I ever seen Don Lemon was like it was like he was saying something like black people hate hearing the truth. He made some great points, about how we punish black people for success and speaking articulately and blah blah blah. He made some great points. But see, the fucked up part about that, he was saying that to Bill O'Reilly.
Don Lemon knows what he's getting buttered at, right? Don Lemon, Candace Owens, Jesse Lee Peterson. These are all people who are in the business of saying some crazy shit in order to attract white attention. And that's exactly what they do every time they come out and speak.
You know what
Don
I like?
Lemon may say something that's truthful, and then he mixes it in with a little bit of tap dancery.
Yeah, you know what I like to call that? I like to call that the love of butter biscuits.
Oh, for real. For real.
Love butter biscuits, doom doom doom.
Butter
Gotta get
biscuits.
this
But
butter, man.
but Don Lemon, of course, was brought up in Dave Chappelle's special because uh Dave Chappelle called him out for like saying some stupid shit like, why are celebrities silent? He started calling out all these celebrity names that were silent. And Dave Chappelle basically made the point where, why the fuck do you need to know what your favorite comedian thinks in times like this? Shit. Like, why Ja Rule? Ja Rule, that was a callback to a joke he did about Ja Rule years ago.
He be trying to get people to understand, like, don't our people ship better? It's like people don't understand the people ship of celebrities in certain times. Like, it's like the reality of reality hit. And so an aspect of the humor behind it, he don't want to be humorous with it. He was fighting, trying to be nice with that. That was rage.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to Raining
And
Woman.
shout out to you.
Hey,
Yeah, shout
Rainy.
out to Random Woman. And man, I don't know. What does Ja Rule think? Has anyone gotten in touch with him yet? Like they act like we really need to know what Ja Rule thinks.
Like it was
Yeah,
funny the first
I'm
time he
just
said
saying.
it.
I mean, it's disingenuous to think that black people need to hear from a celebrity to tell us how we're supposed to feel about a situation. So to even present something like that, it just looks off in the first place. It really does. Like
And
I don't need to know what my favorite basketball player or favorite singer thinks about this before I would know how I'm supposed to react to it. It just makes no sense.
But that's the programming, though. That it actually do make sense if you think about it. If you ever meet someone who's at maybe a lower level of intelligence, right, and you're saying some reality black shit, they're gonna look around and see if anyone is listening to you. Right now, if a celebrity says the same thing, they're going to receive that from that celebrity just like that. It's just that the drone programming is effective, and so an aspect of having some celebrities say some things, I can see how it could actually work with just planting a seed here and there. You know,
Yeah, that's typically how it goes. If a person is doing something to you in a celebrity status or they're rich, they're admired, they're seen as an authority figure because they can do something you can't, which is make money, right? But they're not the end all be all. So people try to use that even in regular conversation. Well, nigga, you can't talk to me because I'm a millionaire and you only a thousandaire. I'm righter than you. No, you got an opportunity I didn't get. That doesn't make you right. That just makes you richer.
that's it. That's it. You treat a king the same way you would treat a beggar.
that's nice. In a perfect world, but we're dealing with a bunch of superficiality.
Mhm.
But let me read some excerpts out of this article. This article
No, I killed
entitled
him.
Don Lemon and Candace Owens responds to Dave Chappelle's criticism in new special. So, basically, it's saying Chappelle managed to call out two reporters. CNN host Don Lemon and Candace Owens is not a fucking reporter, but okay. They said Chappelle criticized the fact that Lemon said that celebrities should be using their power during the civil unrest instead of staying silent. Does it matter about celebrities? No. This is the streets talking for themselves. Chappelle said they don't need me right now. Lemon responded to Chappelle's name drop, saying that he is honored. I
Mhm.
think the establishment has been a bit behind. I think the young people who are out there in the street don't really care about what we have to say, Lemon said. They think that the part of the world that we created and what we did, maybe we didn't move fast enough. We weren't strong enough. So they're out there fighting. I mean, it still seems like Don Lemon is trying to put the ball in a celebrity's hands.
Mhm.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. Like let the people have it. Like let if them niggas want to come and help us,
People
you
are
know.
dying in the streets. Why hasn't the comedian said anything?
Yeah. Like come down to our part of the world and you pump your fists, you scream, and you take part in the unrest that's gonna bring about positive change. I mean, I don't need to hear your voice or be starstruck or anything. I'm like, oh my god, it's such and
What
such.
what he really wants is for celebrities to come out and say, "Hey, all this rioting, this looting, and this anger protesting, it isn't the way. Why don't you
Right.
go back to kneeling
Right.
like Cap did? Cap
Right.
did it. Why don't you go back to kneeling? Kneeling didn't fucking work. We tried that shit. Everybody had something to say about it. Everybody want to sit quietly now, because that's where we at.
Right. And he
Oh
probably
man,
received
when
orders to say what he said in an aspect of calling out celebrities because, everyone know that they utilize them for the influence that they have on the public. James Brown calmed down this city when he was there or whatever. So the thing is they use that. But I think that it was just
Yeah,
a
we need
tactic.
Yeah, we need everybody. We need celebrities to get together and sing "We Are the World" Part Two.
We
Like
are the world.
that
Man,
will make
It's on the way.
everything okay. The fuck?
It's on the
well,
way.
all they would do is have a celebrity say something. As soon as they say a celebrity say something they don't like, they're gonna change the story and put and highlight something else to take attention off what's really going on. Because
Mhm.
Kaepernick kneeled for a long time and didn't get any respect. This white cop kneeled on somebody's neck and he didn't even get arrested. It took protests for people to even think it was serious enough to arrest the guy, which makes no sense. Because I mean, let's get real. If you look at the footage and you establish that you should have fired the guy, how did you look at the footage and not be able to establish you should arrest the guy? It made no sense at all.
Yeah,
So,
I looked at the footage and wanted to drop kick that motherfucker in his face to get him off that man's neck. Even when he died, still though, man, you completely stripped him of his dignity and you murdered him in front of people. And it was one of the most like I don't know. It just made me want to go out and choke somebody. Seriously, that
It's
deserved
supposed
a
to.
course.
It's supposed to. That looking at that forces a call of accountability of humanity. And the fact that this cat had his hands in his pockets and all of them was chilling right there with no struggle from him whatsoever, and looking into the camera the whole time, knowing he being filmed, that was a message of you have no value whatsoever. And so that's
mhm.
what triggered people in an aspect of wait a minute, okay, if this is the law doing this, now we know we can't go to the law. Now we know we can't. The whole aspect of justice coming from the investigation that we're going to do, and the Fed is looking into, and all that old bullshit. Nah, the people said, "Fuck it." You know what? Yeah, it's time to get out there, but they're protesting. They're not supposed to be protesting. That's a fucking war energy. You supposed to be on some bring the guillotines out type shit when things like that happen because that completely it completely shatters all aspect of authority when you see them. People are not seeing policemen no more. How many of them been killed so far since all that happened? Like around 25, 35 or something? A lot of them been they've been taken out. They're on the hunt. They showed that they're hunting us, and now people are hunting them, and that's not going to stop. But especially because everything that's been happening with this COVID-19, you got people held up in the houses, they losing jobs, they losing money around people that they don't like and all this, don't know how this been paid, whatever. Man, all this shit is a powder keg. I think this is a whole natural organic powder keg that got started in the aspect of, with Brother Floyd. I don't think that there's no reform from this. There's no going back to what it was.
Well,
There's no
actually,
quelling for this. Nah.
all they got to
This is the
do,
new norm.
all they got to do is start treating things properly. If they would have arrested Siobhan or whatever his name was
Derek
right
Chauvin.
away, and they would have if they would have arrested the other three right away, none of this protest. I don't think stuff would have got anywhere close to where it is right now.
Of
They
course
should have
not.
just did what they
Of
were
course not.
supposed to do, and things would have been somewhat okay. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we'd have been mad about what happened to Floyd, but if they'd have handled it properly, I think things would have been somewhat fine. But to ignore what happened was basically slapping Black America in the face. And
Exactly.
you just can't slap a whole group of people in the face and expect
So
nothing to happen. That was just kind of stupid.
you're saying if they follow protocol, right? And the protocol is supposed to be set to be non-biased, balanced, objective, and right. But the thing is, if they go off of protocol, they're off of the objective, and that only leaves one other lane. That historical, cultural, cliche lane of their subjectivity.
So,
We,
No,
okay, go ahead.
no,
But
go ahead, go ahead,
but
go ahead.
but
I'll,
let me say this. Let me say this real quick, Roger. So, but where does the delusion come from, though?
The delusion of
That we have this certain version of history, but you have these other blacks that have this other version of history that doesn't give accountability to cops. Have one of these kind of these butter biscuit YouTubers, and Brogus, you probably know who I'm talking about, because he has a really big channel. That cops are the best people in the world. They're so good. They serve the people out of the goodness of their heart. This scrutiny is unfair. Blah blah blah.
okay.
wait a minute, Kev. There's not two versions of history. You have a version of history, and you've always had the Butter Biscuit Brigade out there looking for a new biscuit. That's
For
all it
real.
is to it. The Butter
For
Biscuit
real.
Brigade are looking for new biscuits. That's
Yeah,
all it is.
yeah,
And they've always been there, and unfortunately, they're going to always be there.
yeah. And it
And
must
the
be.
numbers are just larger though. The numbers are much larger now than they were in the past.
Oh man. Okay. And speaking of Butter Biscuit Brigade, okay, on your screen you see a tweet. This is Candace Owens at Real Candace O. There's something real about her. Okay. And it reads to every Democrat. Democrat, whatever.
Quack, quack, quack.
Democrat. I mean,
There
I
you go.
probably said it right
Oh,
anyway.
that's
To
a nice one.
to every Democrat tweeting me the clip of hashtag Dave Chappelle insulting me. I'm not a leftist. I have a sense of humor, and I think comedians should make fun of people. Dave Chappelle is one of the greatest comedians of all time, and I made it into one of his specials. That's power. Yeah, sounds like a female troll on Facebook. Yeah, whenever they
Yeah,
get.
she double-minded, though.
Yeah,
She double-minded because she can say she's insulting me because now she's trying to create a victim narrative while claiming she has power at the same time. She's really double-minded. I'm just saying.
She can't
man.
fight.
It was all
She
fun and games
can't
until
fight.
Black Twitter tore her ass up. Did y'all see what Dr. Daryl Scott said to her today?
No.
He called her a thought. And this
What?
man is a pastor. Imagine.
Wow.
Imagine.
You have to be a rotten bitch to
Thank you for
get a
saying it. Oh my God, I was thinking it.
Get
You're
a
a rotten
pastor.
bitch.
to get a pastor.
That
Right.
man put up a
And he
tweet.
did it
You was
publicly.
talking about you was talking about George Floyd's past and saying people, the history and this and that. Yet you're a thought that had a whorish past, and then changed to a YouTube personality or something like that. And I was weak reading that because I was like, wait a minute, he didn't say that. And multiple people was coming at him like, you can't say that. He said, why can't I? She's a thought.
You're a man of God. How dare you
Hey,
use words that
praise the
God
Lord.
created?
Hey man.
Bruh, he's
Praise the
so
Lord.
it was so many levels to
So
that I couldn't help but to laugh.
Won't
so
he do
so,
it?
so she she dug into George's past, and somebody one of the good lords on one
One of his
people
stewards.
came and dug into her past, huh?
It was like, you attacking a woman. She said, no, 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 I'm not attacking her. I'm just letting her know. Every time she got a problem, she seems to have a problem when it's blackward. When you aiming it towards black people, that's the problem. But you ain't said nothing to these meth addicts. These people run around here doing all this crazy stuff. You ain't speaking to them. You speaking to black people? Nah. Go ahead, have a seat. Thought. Hashtag thought. I cannot breathe.
That man, that man renewed vigor in that word.
Woo.
He made a he made an overused word underused again.
Mm, mm,
I said, oh, okay. Hashtag thought. I said, shit.
mm.
He was going in. And,
That man,
and, and it kills me because people who have been inherently racist in the past are even saying George Floyd died in a horrific manner,
Oh
and
yeah,
this should be checked into.
yeah, yeah. They looked at it and they was
Yeah,
like,
and
man, not like
and that's
that,
why I
not
think
like that. You gonna make the block hot? Not like that.
yeah, yeah. My thing was like, yeah, this is the one thing we got on tape that there's literally nothing you can say to justify
Nope,
any talking point. You can't say he didn't cooperate. You can't say he was being too rough. You can't say he was arguing too much. You can't say nothing.
nope. He wasn't threatening. None of that. And so all of the excuses that they would have before to ignore us, all that nullifies that. The thing is, if Nordstrom's, Neiman Marcus, and Sears and all these other people can be like, okay, yeah, we saw it the entire time on the Jane Elliott side of the game, when she asked them, "Would you want the same life that black people have?" Raise your hand, and you see Pepper Woods getting all kind of itchy in the ear and the eye and the faces, and they twitching. She asked them again, and that nervous energy overcomes them, knowing that they see the bullshit that black people go through, but won't
Paul
speak out
Mooney
on it.
said it best. Everybody wants to be a nigga, but nobody wants to be a nigga.
yeah.
Nobody wants to
And
be a
that's
nigga.
that's the only way that you can describe it because everybody wants to take the culture, they want to take the dance moves, the slang, the dialect, the rap, the all of that. And then when it's time to actually be a nigga, they be in there. Y'all seen that what is it, the 48 hours where they had a police and a white boy get in there. I'm a white boy. I'm a white boy. No sir. No sir. I'm a white boy just like you. I used to be on all that gang shit, but I'm a white boy just like you. I'm trying to be good. Mm-mm.
Oh
Nah,
yeah, he gave it up, huh?
nah, buddy.
Yeah, as soon as that pressure come down, they change quick.
It was all fun and
but
games.
Hey,
but I'm gonna have to say this though. This was not one of Dave Chappelle's funniest, but can we? Can you really not say it wasn't one of his greatest?
I,
I said
Facts.
earlier, he wasn't. He hasn't for a while attempted to be funny. That man has had conversations that are hilarious, and you can't deny it.
mm,
You, you
and,
you
and
do you
really,
do have people like that who can have those kind of conversations just off the rip, to where for some reason their mind is focused on the humor of the situation, but the fact that he teaches at the level which he does and relates with it, it's fucking phenomenal.
I think that Dave Chappelle is just a genuine person.
Yeah.
What you. He's one of those guys. What you see is what you get. That his comedy really isn't an act, so to speak. Even though he can act, But yeah, it was one of those specials to me that didn't need to be funny in order for it to entertain and inform me. You know, I mean, Dave Chappelle is a comedian. He's known as a comedian. That's where his roots are. But you know what? Like I said in the beginning of this broadcast, it was more of a set. This was a
Mhm.
set. Now, you know, he would educate you a little bit as well. Like, you know, they said that why didn't the NRA come forward for,
Philando
it's
Castile.
Philando Castile and his gun rights, and you know, even with Micah X. And he said the only time the NRA has ever supported an assault rifle ban was when the Black Panthers went to the storm the Capitol in California. That's what,
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah,
And
anytime that they start putting in harsh gun, like the reason California has such crazy gun laws, you would think is because of what was going on in the '80s with the gangs and everything, right? No, that shit was really because of the Black Panthers. Yeah, it increased and some things got a little bit worse because of what was going on with the gangs, but really that shit was the Black Panthers. Black
well,
yeah.
Panthers
yeah,
was a major effect to them.
Well,
think about it. They followed the law. Right back to my earlier point. They followed the objective law to the T, and was well within their law, right? And then what did these Peckerwoods do? They subjectively changed it.
yeah, but you know, and of course, you know, we didn't have internet back then, so however the message is translated to you, you know, back then, that they were going to tell you that it was the gangs and it was all this other stuff, you know, when it was just basically people just trying to defend their people, you know, on the principle that this country was built on, or at least we thought, you know. But Dave Chappelle did, why would the NRA do that at that time? You know, because it's black, because they're black.
So now the question remains now, how long can how long can or how many times how long and how many times can black people call the system into an objective accountability when it moves subjectively before it's a neurotic type of phenomena, before it's actually neurosis.
Mm.
Because the thing is, you do all you can to follow the rules. You do all you can to follow the laws. You follow
Sure
every
do.
single thing, and you hear these horror stories from everyone who is following the rules and the laws and the path of success that the system says to follow, and it's always just because of their color. It's never because I mean, it's you. They don't pull over, black people who make $120,000 because they're doing crime or nothing. They pull, they pull them over because their car is too nice for them. They don't know what they do, but their car is too
Yeah,
nice
yeah,
for them. They
yeah,
when they speak to them, they don't
Well, you
understand the
out here, boy.
articulation. The articulation doesn't resonate to them. And remember, all these police officers, majority of them are former military who've probably seen some combat time, who can definitely understand what combat is, what hostile is, what a threat is, and all that. These motherfuckers make subjective decisions with the law. So I've always
Mhm.
said it since what's cuz name who got killed out here in Dallas. Who's that white bitch that killed she killed that brother? Botham Jean.
Botham John, yeah,
Yeah,
with his stupid brother.
ever since then, I've said it. The U.S. law is merely white want. That's what it
Mhm.
is, and people are seeing that, and that's why they're really thinking to just do what comes natural when you get this type of fuck it energy, and that's the energy that people's feeling. That's the energy that they want these celebrities to quell. People are feeling, all right, fuck it. You damned if you do, you damned if you don't.
Mm.
I'm gonna be dead by the COVID. I'm gonna be dead by these pigs. I'm gonna be dead by these pilgrims out here who they're permitting to hunt us. That's one thing that no one spoke about in the whole Arbery case and everything. That was a hunting by
Oh yeah,
our
yeah. They
standard.
hunted him down. They hunted him down and they shot him.
You know what I mean? So the fact that they got a pass for that for 3 months, and it only went to trial with all that when it was exposed, you got to ask yourself, how long has that been the culture? Like they in broad daylight now. You know what I'm saying? well, I can understand at night them snatching someone because they're doing their little Klansman coward activities and shit like they've been doing for the last 2 weeks and everything. Okay, yeah, but in broad daylight, that's when they're not caring. This is when they're making personal decisions to not care about turning us into prey. And then
Yeah,
you got to ask the black people, do you permit yourself to be prey based off of your citizenship that you have within this nation and this country, saying that, let us handle it? Don't protect yourself. Don't get guns. Don't get armed. Don't see us as enemies. I mean, are black people really are starting to see certain elements of the state as enemies to it or enemy-like in nature? Is it causing some paradigm shift, or is everybody waiting for everything to get so-called better?
okay, all right. Which will lead me into our final point. Shout out to Bro Rob in the chat. Peace. Shout out to Mahogany Roots and MJ. This lead the warning that I was talking about earlier in the show.
Mm.
Basically, he said that let's make this the last place for civil discourse because after this is rat a tat 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 tat. Tat tat. Which really he was saying enough is a goddamn enough.
Yes,
Period.
it has to be.
Yeah, is at a boiling point right now. If it doesn't get fixed, then we all know what the next step is.
Natural disaster. Well, same thing that happens with a volcano.
Yeah. A societal implosion / explosion. And this shit could have been rectified a long time ago.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but that greed, man. The thing is, we think the greed has something to do with business. Nope, that greed is cultural. It will always be there, and it will always be an issue.
Well, I think at the end of the day, you can't make an entire group of people feel like they can't breathe. Because when the people feel like they can't breathe, your natural reaction is to start grasping and clawing at anything you can to help you breathe. And what I'm saying is, if black folks feel like they can't drive down the street, they can't eat a bowl of ice cream in their own apartment, if they can't barbecue at the park, if they can't just breathe,
Nobody.
you can't even attend a higher education learning center.
Nope.
Like if you can't breathe, you can't do nothing else. Don't make black people feel like they can't breathe as a group. I know people have been talking about, people saying they can't breathe. Don't make us feel like we can't breathe as a group of people, because then you make us desperate. And you got to ask yourself, do you want an entire group of people to feel desperate?
Well put.
No, not us.
So,
Don't do that.
so like my grandmother said, she used to tell me, "Stay in the house, baby. Don't go out." She would call me. I'd be sitting next to my father. My father would be like, "What she said? Stay in the house." He was, "Man, you going out tonight?" Yep. Uh, uh, because we understood that she came from an older mindset of fear. Plus, she's a woman, so she's trying to protect me and do everything she can to keep me docile. We're not in that old ass generation. This generation will fuck you up. So I understand that if you stay in the house, you can get killed. If you go out, you can get killed. There is no free space for you. So, like Dave Chappelle said, rat-tat-tat-tat-tat. It's not because we just want to go out and shoot shit up. We don't have any other options. I might die at any given moment.
Mm-hmm.
You might not hear me on the next broadcast because I might go out, headed to work, headed to go pick up something to eat, going to the grocery store, etc. And a police officer might pull me over, and because he's afraid of me, quote unquote, I could be killed, and then you'll see me as the next hashtag. And I just want to say, if I am the next hashtag or a hashtag in general, burn this motherfucker down. Fuck all that
Thank
piece of
you.
shit.
No protest.
If
Please
one of my
don't
relatives,
hug no goddamn body. Don't hug nobody. Please.
yeah, one of my relatives come on here talking about some,
Hug my
oh
mama.
well,
Don't hug
he was
nobody else.
fuck all that. Kill it off.
There you go. Burn this motherfucker down.
Nothing to talk about.
Because here's the thing. And I'm gonna take it all the way back to slavery. And The Butter Biscuit Brigade, calm your ass down for just 1 second. Oh, they won't talk about slavery. Oh. Like, shut the fuck up. All right, listen up. It's like post-slavery. All black people wanted to do. They weren't even thinking about revenge and violence and
Nope.
killing the white man. All black people wanted to do post-slavery was live our lives
Peacefully.
But you know what? Nathan Bedford Forrest's dumbass couldn't let it go. He couldn't let it go, and now we're here in fucking 2020 at this point. So, to all those out there, it might be a good idea to let the shit go.
Especially in the middle of a pandemic.
Yeah, in the middle of a pandemic. And the pandemic, I think, was one of the catalysts in the unrest because people got tired of staying home.
There were so many factors of being tired that people didn't need that extra.
People were out of jobs.
Yeah, it was a dumbass move if it was just, you know, some rogue pig just doing something, but it was all four of them. It was five. Like, I didn't watch the tape. I still ain't watching that fucking tape, niggas. I know how I click.
And let me tell you what the problem is. There's been several cops since then. Several black people died. Several cops who have decided to do some slick shit since then. And they don't give a fuck. And they know we're in a situation that is a pandemic. And you want to keep this going? Oh, okay. Yo, wow.
So fat meat got to be greasy, man. Fat meat has to be greasy.
How many of y'all know who Adrian Medeiros is? That's somebody else who just got killed by the cops. I'm sure it'll be hitting the news pretty soon. But he was a gospel singer, a 48-year-old gospel singer. Yet the cop felt threatened. The cop felt threatened.
The cop who probably was pre-military and been in threatening situations, well more threatening than that. Yeah.
I feared for my life.
One. Let's stop. One, y'all got to stop calling the motherfuckers cops and police. All right, the motherfuckers are mercs. Okay, they're mercenaries. The way that they interact with the folks is on some soldier shit. They already do that when they're after like police, but now that they didn't, you know, so went into the. I mean, how long has the hands up, don't shoot been something since Mike Brown?
I call them Klansmen with badges because that's really what they are. The FBI put out a report years ago talking about how these motherfuckers were not police officers. They were Klansmen who got jobs as police officers, and the FBI knew about it. So you mean to tell me the FBI knew about these motherfuckers and didn't say, hey, listen, we're going to pull these people out and do something with them?
What they can't do that because the FBI is full of them. The thing is, they use the clans. They use the Klan as the extreme version of whatever it is that they know you're finna bark at. The thing is, it's more along the line of that which isn't the Klansmen, the ones who takes the political route, where they ain't gonna call you a nigga. They're damn sure put forth some legislation that invalues, you know what I'm saying, your zip code or your part of the city or something like that. Them motherfuckers are white supremacists too. So it's not really about them being Klansmen. It never matter what they put on their body, whether they're a Klansman, a business suit, a pig.
Well, that's what I always say.
The rule, motherfucker. They all pilgrims underneath, man. That's all baloney at the bottom.
Is a slick motherfucker that lives with you, right? So if we look at it from the context of all these white people calling the police, those are the most vicious white supremacists. Those are people who live next door to. They done brought you an apple pie, smiled in your whole face, told you some bullshit, and then when you had a barbecue, they called the police over there, hoping the police would come and kill you, knowing that the police have the potential to come do that to you, or you've shown up to your job 20 minutes late, and Susan has went to the manager and said something in order to get you fired, knowing that you're in a position to be in trouble. That's what these white supremacists do, and you've got to call them out on a consistent basis.
So when the black people want to make it culture to see everything that they do in an aspect of utilizing the system as being personal, not something in the aspect, oh, this is a flaw in the system. No, it's not a flaw in the system. It's that they can use the system how they want to, be them a part of the system or be them a citizen of it.
I always say the system is designed that way. If you look back at the founding fathers were a whole bunch of racist crass individuals. I almost got YouTube hate. A whole bunch of crass individuals who did slick things. If you look at the founding fathers, they had slaves. They took wives from the slaves. They had kids from the slaves. The Jefferson kids have a whole organization where they come back and they go, look, oh, you're a Jefferson kid, me too. But they don't want to acknowledge the black kids. Now, why is that?
Because that's the thing is that's the culture of the people. Okay, look, the whole thing is this whole racism thing. How long we been calling them racist? At what point does that racism, the acts that they define racism as, is that just racist to us, or is it more evil? You know what I'm saying? The whole thing with the racism is that they can say that this is racist, and then they'll put in their law that okay, well, this is what racism is defined as, and this person didn't do this to the letter, so they're not doing racist. It wasn't a hate crime
That's
or
why I
nothing
say
like that.
it's a religion. White supremacy is a religion. They believe in that like the Catholics believe in the Vatican. They
What they
build
have
their
Well,
whole
to.
not
life
all
on
Catholics. Not all Catholics. Let's
it.
clarify that real quick.
Well, you don't believe in the Vatican?
I'm a strange Catholic. I'll say that.
Okay, well,
Like I'm more estranged to the belief, but the thing is, I don't forget those like all those people that you know I grew up with, and all the old ladies that were so nice to me, and that are no longer here. So I still acknowledge I'm a very respectable person when it comes to my elders. So
I'm not. So God bless you. I'll talk about a whole big weave in a minute.
I mean, but I don't use the term elder loosely. I don't. I don't use the term elder loosely. I mean, because I believe that stupid comes in all ages. So, but the people that I know, and I trust in, yeah, I can say all the credible stuff I want to about them. But Donnie, your way works too. So, listen, we're gonna bring this to a close. The special was 27 minutes, and it was basically about the 8 minutes and 46 seconds, the last 8 minutes and 46 seconds of George Floyd's life. I mean, probably it was probably shorter than that because the man was dead and Chauvin was still on his neck, and it's just like I said, is you don't it a lot of us, okay, a lot of us, and have watch somebody die, and it's never an easy thing. I could tell you a story, um, but it's like when ask yourself, have you ever watched anybody die? Ask yourself that. Anybody
Mhm.
on the panel, have you watched somebody die?
Yep.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I've seen people die on an emotional level, right?
Yeah,
They were close to me, and I've seen people die who I had no idea who they were. Two different feelings, two different um, understandings of life that come from it, should I say? Right? But yeah, I've seen it.
yeah. I watched somebody murdered like right in front of me. Yeah, it was pretty surreal experience. I can tell you the next week was pretty weird. I'll say
Yeah.
that. Just like kind of like Dave Chappelle said, these are some weird times that we live in right now. And it's probably gonna get a lot worse before it get a lot better. But you know what? You know who
Definitely.
that you know who that's up to? That's up to the system. Because, we're tired of claiming responsibility for this shit or be feeling like that we're somehow wrong, and think about it, it's not just the murder, it's the self-hate that it created, it's the infighting that all of this shit created, like this whole
Mhm.
fix of racism and white supremacy and how that it's damaged our people, and enough is enough. So
Mm.
you can end it or it can end some other kind of way that's going to result in a lot of people having to pay the price. And I'm the kind of person that would rather do things the easy way. This is not a threat. It's just that we're seeing as a thinking group of black people what's about to happen, and it's the other side's fault.
Totally.
It's
100%.
total. It's totally because it's like this. We weren't dragging their kids out of bed in the middle of the night and taking them in the middle of the forest and murdering them.
Nah.
We weren't. We
How
weren't
dare you? And they
like.
hide that. They hide that because they know it's vicious and they know it's something they can't talk about.
Yeah.
Hey, Florida, I think Florida A&M, whatever, they just not A&M, but
Gator
Miami
bait.
University, they just dropped Gator bait. Yeah. I didn't even know it was a chant there until they put it up on Bing. I'm like, are you kidding me? This was a
One of
culture.
the most famous chants. That
Are
was
you
the like
shitting
in
me?
college football. That was the biggest chant that they had. Uh, and you got to
Mhm.
think this is an all black college doing this.
Hey,
Well,
what do
not
y'all?
all black college, but an all black team doing this.
Hey, but what do y'all think of all the little racist stuff like products and stuff being called out? Do you think that
Um,
do you think that it solves the problem, or you think that it's just virtue signaling, like the whole
Virtue signaling.
like
All of the shit that's going on right now is virtue signaling. I
oh
don't
my
believe in none of that shit.
I could give a fuck if I could give a fuck about Aunt Jemima. Like honestly, I give a fuck about any of that. I give a fuck about him putting a monkey on a Cocoa Crisp, Cocoa Puffs, cereal box. I could care less. I could
it
care less if
not
a
yeah,
kid show named Paw Patrol dress up little puppies as cops. I don't care about that shit. I want real tangibles.
nah,
Yep.
no, 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 no. This is the thing you gotta understand. This is the beautiful part of it. Look at all the cards they're spending to try to appease black people. They're changing things that they haven't changed in hundreds of years. And so the thing is they're desperate. It's not gonna work.
I mean,
But
like
the thing
honestly,
is,
yeah.
this
Honestly,
shows that
like I
they're
understand.
desperate. And them
I,
being desperate is a really good sign.
But you know what though? I understand the removal of the Confederate flag all day. I wish I can go to Stone Mountain right now and piss on that fucking painted damn mural of the Confederate flag. Like just it's yeah, because I don't understand. Like we understand why they kept the Confederate flag around. We do understand that
Oh
because
yeah, definitely, definitely.
heritage, not hate. Like oh man, like I mean, when I was growing up in Alabama, I remember driving to and from Birmingham, and there was this one point that they had this whole side of the mountain painted like big old Confederate flag, and it said heritage, not hate.
Wow.
They'll
Wow.
I was like,
find any reason.
you just want to let everybody, you want everybody to know that Alabama's a racist ass state. Like,
But see, you know what, I prefer that. I prefer that because growing up in Oklahoma, you see it everywhere, 24/7. That's the flag you see more than the U.S. flag. I only saw the U.S. flag, when it was at school. You had the Pledge of Allegiance, whatever, but you always saw the Confederate flag.
I I do you one up because so I've got a lot of fight stories because it's funny because I lived in Arizona for years. That's I boxed, did MMA, etc. Um, the gym I worked out at, it was this white dude who came in. He was you could tell he had did meth at some point in his life. He turned his life around. He was poor white trash. He was a very nice dude to me. He was very
Uh,
cool. Went out of his way to do anything he could to try and be in my favor. He kissed my ass a lot of the time because I was one of the stars in the gym. Just was what it was. So one day he he hits me up. He was like, "Coach is busy." He asked me to ask you or somebody in the gym, should I say, to come and corner me. And I really would respect it if you came and was my corner. I would really appreciate it. I was like, yeah, cool, no problem. I got you. So imagine I'm trying to get him, and I'm knowing he's gonna lose this fight because he's just not no good. He's just not no good fighter.
okay.
I'm knowing he's gonna lose this fight, and I'm hitting mitts with him. I'm doing everything, and then they call him and they tell him it's time for you to go up. And he goes to grab a hat, and it's got a Confederate flag and two black people
ooh, all right.
Whoa.
I want to hear the end of this story right here.
behind him. So we start walking, and he grabs his hat and puts it on his head. I'm like, what the fuck? Where did this hat come from? How did nobody see this hat? So I look at my homeboy. I'm like, hard nigga, did you see this hat? He like, nah. Hey nigga, grab his hat. He like, nah. So I grabbed the hat. I'm like, nigga, hey, you don't need no hat. So I throw the shit off. we halfway through the crowd. I said, listen, to add insult to injury, I've attached my name to this dude who's finna get his ass whipped, and he put on the Confederate flag. So we get out there. Oh, I'm sorry. So we get about my girl, man. I just woke her up. My bad. But yeah, we get there and we get maybe 45 seconds into a minute in, and he get his ass whipped. We're talking about knocked out. And I got because I didn't need to come out with him, and he got a Confederate hat.
Ah, you gotta console the saltine, huh? Oh.
I would have consoled the shit. He'd like, hey, well, you win some, you lose some, player.
You know what?
Right. Too bad, dumbass.
The thing is, the Confederate flag, it's good to be there because it shows you that they don't really have no power. Because when those who represent the U.S. flag comes in, then that shows you that, oh, okay, the Confederacy, they act like they're a gang, right? They act like they're a gang, but then the U.S. comes in and, oh, it acts like it's a mob. So an aspect of how they interact with one and one to say, oh, these are the extremists and everything, but oh, okay, yeah, them wasp ain't extreme, but they got a whole lot more anti-black power and effort put into industry and all kinds of things. So um, I I've always dug the whole aspect of the Confederates, them particular people because they're honest. You know what I'm saying? And they let you know it's a fight from the jump. You know what I'm saying? They let you know that, and you don't go in blind.
Yeah, I've always appreciated the Confederate flag. I've always understood how stupid it was and how stupid it looked. White people don't, but I have. So sometimes you got to tell the truth and let these people expose themselves.
Yep.
Mm. Yeah.
But it's funny that motherfucker will wear that Confederate flag. He'd be mad at people kneeling to this day, and then he come and kiss my ass. And I wonder, does he know what that motherfucker mean, or is he just stupid? And
Nah, there's no way. None of them is that stupid, man.
Man, they
None of
probably.
them is that stupid. It's heritage. It's heritage that they pass down. That they're around, just like black people who grow up with a certain understanding of their culture. It actually is culture. That's the one thing people don't understand. The South was a totally different culture from the North. So in the aspect of them speaking of heritage, yeah, that is their heritage, and in the aspect of interacting with them, um, for how their heritage is, oh no, ain't nothing wrong with it. That's just how it is. And the U.S. been letting them get it how they live, but the thing is, we ain't supposed to. No matter what they do, no matter what the U.S. says, the law is permitting them to do or whatever. We're supposed to be standing on a more solid humanity other than what some damn law or citizenship or some damn feud that we have with these pilgrims is telling people otherwise, or even said the whole religion thing where you don't fight. It's like there's no instance to where a black person will fight lethally on their behalf unless it's another fucking black person.
Well, my thing is
They're
this:
willing to go for it.
if they know what the flag means, it's like using the N word. You do it at your own risk.
Exactly.
That's what it come down to at the end of the day for me. Use it at your own risk. I can't trip about somebody going at you because you used it. Yeah, I'm not gonna really. To me, it's gonna fall on deaf ears. I'm not gonna really listen to complaints. You know what I'm saying about? Well, he did this to me. He shouldn't have touched me though. I got a right to waive it. Yeah, you got a right to waive it. He shouldn't have touched me though. Yeah, but sometimes things happen. That's all.
I
And I'm
mean,
leaving.
hey,
I,
occurrences.
I think the funniest story I've ever heard is I got a cousin. So they did our family tree. They traced it back. They traced it back to some old Confederate white man. He apparently bought an ancestor and had kids with her. All right, cool. At that point, we qualified to be a daughter of the Confederacy, or
Oh
she did.
wow.
So
Okay.
she tried to join up just to fuck with them, and they was mad as fuck with her when they. It was a whole situation. So I thought that was hilarious. Y'all say it's not about the racism, but y'all want to be daughters of Confederacy.
Yeah. So it ain't cool when the black daughters want to join, huh?
It's all fun and games till the rabbit gets to them.
You ain't what? What you doing here?
I want a knife.
I don't give a fuck what your name is.
Yeah, that's where we are in life. That's just what it is. Um,
But it's amazing how Dave Chappelle can always pull out the comedy in all these type of situations. So the man's a genius. Christopher Donner got it right. He's my hero again. And you know, I'm gonna say we need to really honor that, brother. That's all I can say. We really need to
All right.
honor
All right.
that.
Well, all right, fellas. Like, I know I dropped that link, but I mean, I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking. Listen, I'm about to end it, but this has definitely been an awesome conversation about one of the greatest, if not the greatest of all time. Like, before the last special, Dave Chappelle wasn't my favorite comedian. Like, I still like look through the old greats, like Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy. But Dave Chappelle, like, is becoming my favorite comedian because he really, he's really the hero we don't deserve. Period. you know.
Mm, mm,
Well,
mm.
he definitely on my Mount Rushmore. I tell you that he on my
Uh,
Mount Rushmore.
oh yeah, yeah, he's on my Mount Rushmore comedians. Yeah, definitely. Uh, it's hard. Sorry, DL Hughley. Well,
I'm a Patrice O'Neal fan.
Oh,
What
Patrice
about
O'Neal said it.
Patrice O'Neal's one. Patrice
what
O'Neal
about
one. David Chappelle two. Tyree
what
David
about
three.
Cam just pulled DL Hughley out there and threw him under the bus for no apparent reason?
yeah, yeah. I mean, like, and I got,
Is DL funny though? Is he like funny
DL,
funny?
DL is real funny. He's very political, and he's tried to cross the political over with his funny, and it hasn't worked.
Oh,
But
okay.
I'm just saying though, when you say your Mount Rushmore, we talking about 4 people. So that means everybody else didn't make it. And then you just pulled out DL Hughley just to let him know. Just in case he listen. Hey DL, you ain't make
no,
it.
you ain't make it. You weren't even on the mountain in the first place. You just ain't going. No,
He's
no.
he's
What
he's,
kind
he's
of
become the Black John Stewart.
what kind of upset me about DL Hughley? He kept repeating jokes when he was in this doing stand up comedy. I
Yeah.
went into the Kings of Comedy like expecting DL to do something epic because it was the movie. It was the same goddamn jokes he did on the Showtime comedy special. I
Yeah.
was
Well,
like,
you know
man,
what?
I was like,
You
fuck
know
this
what?
dude.
Steve Harvey, not Steve Harvey. Well, actually, Steve Harvey did do the same thing. However, Cat Williams did the same thing. Cat Williams is one of the funniest dudes ever. And I realized because when I went to a show, because Cat Williams, I did that. I was at that Phoenix show where Cat Williams got into it with the Mexican dude, and they played the clip on.
Mm.
And his set was supposed to be what 35 minutes, 30 minutes. That man went an hour and a half, and 20 minutes he was just cracking on the Mexican dude.
Well,
The, the,
Cat Williams will roast he will roast you so bad you'll feel like a
he
rotisserie chicken afterwards.
he was
Like,
going in, and then the very next night, I think Young Jeezy happened to be there because of the concert, and DMX was there. And DMX had been living in Phoenix for a minute, and this man got into a fight with him, and everything got shot up, and and all hell broke loose. But I saw an hour and 30 minutes of non ever scripted material. That man was just talking, and I can tell you now, I've seen a lot of comedians. Cat Williams, one of the funniest.
That's how, that look. The thing is, that's how you got to do it. You have to be able to riff, and that was actually a cultural thing with black folks back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Somebody get drunk, you turn on some dope ass music, then you got somebody that's they used to call it rapping before it was hip hop and shit. But somebody that knew how to talk that shit, rhyme a little bit, keep the energy going, almost like an MC. It's pretty much a natural MCing aspect of engaging the crowd and everything. And with that rife history of the dozens. I mean, black people, we the dozens made us actually put us in a college of understanding quick wit, humor. You know what I'm saying? Observation, things like that. Is when it comes to entertainment, there's a reason why black people are the best. Is so much of our historical legacy being in this nation has been with actually curbing certain expressions. And when we do let it go, what I'm saying, it's Cyclops with the damn visor taken off. You know what I mean?
yeah. Gentlemen, I think it's about time we bring this one to an end.
Definitely, much respect.
Break it down, break it down, break it down.
All right, guys. Definitely, Dave Chappelle ain't saying all this stuff for nothing. You know, I mean, in fact, a lot of things couldn't have been said better by anyone else except Dave Chappelle.
Facts.
So big ups to the brother. I hope he continues to perform and gives us good words and, bring us something like this. I know that comedy is probably not something that he's too interested in doing anymore because of the current SJW climate. But I felt like that in times like this and with everything going on that we do, regardless of what he may say about celebrities taking a back seat to, let the streets doing it, people like Dave Chappelle are needed. They are.
Definitely. Definitely.
So I mean, y'all out there, y'all take that how y'all want it, but seriously, it's like he's it is, and one very important thing to remember about Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle is a black man. Yes. So all right. Anything quick y'all want to say before I end this?
Check me out on Black Men Being Check me out on Black Men Being Brutally Honest, the Roger Report, the breakdown of woman's perspective, and my show. You ain't shit for watching. We around. We doing it big. Black Dimension, habitual line steppers, and I'm out.
All right.
Thanks for the hospitality. Long live the habitual line steppers.
All right.
Peace.
All right, Rokus. Thank you as always. Yeah, your presence is always appreciated. Roger.
Man, it's been great. It's been real. I hope to meet you in heaven, Christopher Donna. And I'll see y'all next time around. I'm out.
All right, Roger. And yeah, that does it for me as well. This has been our discussion on Dave Chappelle, 846. Check, like the fellows have said, check us out on our other Habitual Line Steppers channels, and please subscribe to the Black Dimension. This our entertainment channel, and we plan on doing big things with that. So okay, well, that ends it. Thank you very much. Good night, everyone. In Kev we trust. Goodbye. And the Black Dimension. Peace out.